Welcome back to the American Athletic Conference Media Days. Kris, Budden, and Rene Ingoglia. Up next, UCF will take the stage. Gus Malzahn in his debut season there in Orlando. Where you live, what has the hype been like around it?
Incredibly high. Yeah. This fan base is very excited with this hire. After the way last season ended, they are ready to get going, opening up against Boise State. But yeah, it is incredibly high, the enthusiasm. And again, I think this team is ready to go, and it's going to be a great season for them, and so it should be a really good transition for Coach Malzahn.
Yeah, and he inherited a lot of talent as well. Coach Malzahn joins us now. Coach, thanks so much for joining us. It's been 8 years since you started again as the head coach at a program. What is different? What have you implemented and learned this time around?
Yeah, I had 8 weeks off, and for the first time in 30 years, I didn't have a day off and had 8 weeks to kind of reflect, refresh. I'm real excited for this opportunity. I inherited a very good group that's used to winning. It's a really exciting time. We've got a great staff to go around, and we're just ready for the season.
Okay, we'll go right into questions for Coach Malzahn, please. We'll start with Chris Vanini from The Athletic, please.
Yeah, Gus, conference realignment is obviously a popular topic right now. You're coming from the SEC where they just added some teams, and now UCF has talked about a lot. What do you kind of make of the whole thing?
Well, the landscape of college football is changing. You see it almost on a daily basis, and I think that's a good thing for us in the future. We're one of those programs. We have a super young fan base. I think we're in a great situation, for the future, whatever that means with conference realignment. With the name, image, and likeness, the one-time transfer, all that together, I think that is really good for our program.
Up next, we'll go to Matt Murschel from the Orlando Sentinel, please.
Gus, you talked a little bit yesterday about Dillon Gabriel's growth. When I spoke with him, he talked about how he went to Hawaii, he brought Jalen Robinson with him as kind of a way to kind of bond with his new team or with his teammates. What do you see about that, and how much does that show how Dillon's growth as a leadership, as he's willing to take that responsibility to develop a longer relationship with the receiver?
Yeah, that was just one of the good examples of his leadership, just doing the extra to try to do the little things to give our team the best chance of being successful. And he's a big-time quarterback. He's really our leader, and when your leader sets the tone for everything else by example, that really is great things, on the field on Saturdays.
We'll take the next question from Joseph Duarte with the Houston Chronicle, please. Joseph, you're able to unmute yourself. Let me see if I can help you there. All right, we'll stand by and see if we can get back to Joseph. We'll go instead with Trace Trilko, Sons of UCF, please.
Coach, during media day yesterday, you spoke of a 70-something percentage of vaccinated players. News from Boise, the opponent, in just a month, that there are some positive cases in the athletic program. What's your reaction to the league's position that games impacted by COVID will not be rescheduled, but instead will be forfeited?
Yeah, each program has a responsibility to do the best they can to use the COVID etiquette, and that's going to be a big factor moving forward. And I think most programs around the country saw this coming, and we're no different. We need to do a great job with that, and the better job that we do with that, the better chance we have to win it.
Okay, we'll go next to Andrea Adelson with ESPN, please.
Gus, where have you seen the biggest area of growth with the team since you got there?
Really, our motto is count on me. We just put our guys in situations just to, be able to count on each other. And so we've really challenged our guys. We've strained our guys, whether it was spring practice, whether it was our first day. We just got off the practice field about 30 minutes ago. Our strength coach the same way. We've got a lot of inexperienced guys. We've got a lot of transfers coming in, and I just feel like it's real important. Just the quicker that we come together as a team and be able to count on each other, that will help us, on the field.
We go next to Dan Tortora, please. Wake up call DT.
Coach, a lot of coaches here inside of the American have left for the SEC, left for the ACC, the Big Ten, and whatnot. Why come into this conference? What is it about UCF and what's it about the American that you believe in the message of both?
Yeah, for me, it was fit. And, I would say most coaches around the country look at this program as a gold mine. And I've always thought this was probably the last 5 years a top 20 job. I don't care what conference it is in or Power 5, non-Power 5. This is one of the best programs in college football. And so, this program has a chip on their shoulder. I'm a former high school coach, and, I've been hearing that for the 15 years I've been a college coach and kind of using that in my favor. So I've got a chip on my shoulder. So those two things coming together. And, and also I looked, you see the future of college football changing. And this is a program that all those changes are going to be for the good here. And so I just think there's unbelievable potential. It's an unbelievable place to recruit to. I thought that 5 months ago before I took the job. Now I even think that even better, since I've had the job. So, like I said, I'd like this to be my last job, and I really think we can win championships here.
And a follow-up to that, the college football playoff expansion to 12, what does that mean for UCF, and what do you see moving forward, having been a part of the other side?
Yeah, I've thought for a long time, even my last job, that it's best for college football to expand. And now that it's going to 12, or at least that's the plan, I think that's not just a good thing for us, it's a good thing for college football. And then, of course, you see the changing of 2 teams added to the SEC, and you hear people saying, oh, it's going to push it back and all that. I think that's a bunch of bull, man. What's best for college football is to move forward sooner rather than later, to have the 12 teams. And so hopefully that'll happen.
Thank you, Coach.
We'll go next to Steve Helwick, please, with SB Nation.
Hi, Coach. You made a big splash in the transfer portal this offseason, even drawing a few potential starters from there. Is that something you can expect to be a building block of your program going forward, or is that more of a result of not having your roster overridden with too many freshmen this season?
Yeah, it was really a combination of both. We had some holes to fill. We lost, 5 guys got drafted, and I think there's like 6 or 7 of those guys are on rosters. So we had some holes to fill. We were a pretty young team in a lot of positions. So, and the fact that this program's been very successful with transfers in the past. And the one-time transfer coming about, that's going to be a real positive, I believe, for our program. So you'll see that continuing to happen, when we have a need.
Okay, we'll go back to Matt Murschel from Orlando Sentinel with the next question, please.
Yes, we talked to Big Cat yesterday, and he mentioned he wasn't really kind of first thinking about coming to join you here at UCF, but then you called him and talked with him about it. Can you tell us about that conversation? And he talked about his dedication, wanting to prove that he's the best defensive player in the country. What have you seen from him, and what do you think he'll bring to this team?
Well, obviously we know a lot about each other, and we have a great relationship. And he was banged up all last year. He had a bad ankle and all that, but he's been an all SEC type performer, and just knowing his goals and then knowing the need that we have, just thought it was a great situation, really for both of us. And he's already came in here and stepped up. He's got leadership ability, and he's already got off to a good start.
Thanks, guys.
We'll take the next one from Jamie Say from WKMG in Orlando, please.
Hi, Gus. I was at practice this morning, the part that was open to the media, and we heard you say, be perfect, be perfect. How would you assess day one of fall camp?
Yeah, you go out there with helmet only. Really it's more about just the attitude, the approach, doing things with great effort, with great attention to detail. So we'll have another helmet practice tomorrow, and we need to improve from today. And then, of course, we have a padded practice on day 3. That's when we'll really find out. But, it's about execution, and it's about trying to be perfect and straining to be perfect, And so really that's what that comment was about.
Okay, we'll go back again to Matt Murschel from the Orlando Sentinel, please.
Gus, you talked about obviously, what the decision to come back to UCF. But what have you seen from the American as a whole, as a conference? I mean, what really stands out to you about the talent that's in this league?
Yeah, there's some big time teams. Obviously, Cincinnati and what they've done is just, it's unbelievable. And then you look at the Memphises, the SMUs, the Houston's always been a traditional, power. I know I'm probably leaving out some, but it's a real conference that has a lot of respect around college football and is getting nothing but better and better every year.
Thank you so much, Coach Gus Malzahn. Looking forward to seeing you guys start the season this year, and good luck with camp.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Yep. Rene, as they start fall camp, and we were familiar with the offense under Josh Heupel. What do you think this looks like this year under Gus Malzahn?
Yeah, well, he runs first. A lot of people don't realize that with Gus Malzahn. They think throw it all around because you're running the spread. So he wants to establish the run first, but I think that's going to help Dillon Gabriel. So offensively, I think they'll be fine. It's defense where they need to improve. They get some players back. Kalia Davis opted out last year. He's back at defensive line. You saw someone ask a question about Big Camp Bryant coming on defensive line. So I think if they can shore up defensively, they're going to be good.
I thought it was interesting, says a lot by a coach, when you see some of the players that come from Auburn, Big Cat Bryant, also Mark Anthony Richards coming from Auburn as well. They also have an interesting schedule, the way that plans out, because they open up the season against Boise. Let's take a look at the schedule for the Knights. Boise State, that's September 2nd. That is an interesting first one for them.
And it's a Thursday night, and the bounce house will literally be bouncing, and it's going to be sold out, and that's going to be a great way to start off this season.
A difficult road schedule, though, because you got to go at Navy, at Cincinnati, at SMU. The biggest challenge for Gus this season will be what?
At Cincinnati, if you're talking about in conference, there's no doubt about it. But it's cliche, it's coach speak, but you really gotta get off the ground running with that first game, and then you just gotta week by week.
So there we are, less than a month away till they open up the season September 2nd as they host Boise State. Let's bring in the players now joining us. Dillon Gabriel, Kalia Davis joining us, guys, and we will let the media begin by asking you all some questions. Thank you so much for joining us, gentlemen.
Thanks for having us.
All right, we'll get started with Dan Tortora from Wake Up Call DT, please, for the players.
Dillon, for you, just what you can say about not only you getting out on the field this season, but Mackenzie Milton getting to do that in another school in Florida, just what it means to you to have you both out there on the field, as I know you have a relationship with him. And Kalia, just what you could say about opting out last year and finally getting back on the field this year.
You can go first. Yeah. Well, it was just a very tough decision, so I really just had to take it day by day. In July coming towards the season, it was a lot of stuff in the air about college football, and really just talking to my family, it really just helped me make my decision, but enough of that. Is just I'm ready. I'm back here ready to work, And
then for my question, obviously I'm super excited for Kenzie. He's a brother to me, big bro, and it just reminds me of old days. He's earned it. He's just been through a bunch, but got through it, and now he's at where he's at. So I'm super excited for him, super excited for both of us. So.
And then as a follow-up for you both, just the thoughts on name, image, and likeness, having an opportunity as a student athlete for the first time ever to make money off of yourself and what you can bring to the table.
Well, I feel like that's a great addition. I appreciate the NCAA to allow us to do that. But really, for me, I'm really just focused on, winning here. So name, image, and likeness is cool, but, I'm winning first, and then if it comes, it comes.
I feel the same way. Obviously, camp started. We're locking in, and we're super excited for the season. We're now less than a month away, and, we're just trying to grind, figure, everything out, and then, let the rest take care of itself.
Thanks, gentlemen.
We'll go next to Andrea Adelson, please, from ESPN.
Hey, guys. I'm wondering for both players how the team has handled the transition with the new staff and your new position coaches and maybe some of the new scheme as we head into the season.
I feel like everybody approached it well. They took the transition well. They approached it with a coach me coach attitude. For me, it felt like, I'm a senior, but it feels like I'm a freshman again. New coaches, you want to stand out. Everybody's square one, ground one, trying to work their way up. So I feel like everybody approached it well.
Likewise, I think, it's just super refreshing, being able to learn new terminology, new plays, and then also, just getting a new chance to prove yourself again, something that, is good for a lot of our guys, and then obviously having new guys, just good all around. So, I'm personally, love Coach Gus, love Coach Kenny, been nothing but great to me and have pushed me to be my best self in every area of my life, and, that's all I could ask for. So,
Dillon, as a follow-up, where can you get better this year? What's on the goal list, if you're willing to share?
There's one stat, and that's that W. For me, that's where my eyes are. That's my prize, and just finding ways to win, whether it's by 1 or by 50. That's for me, and obviously taking it 1 week at a time. So when December 4th comes, we're in that game and take advantage of it. So.
We'll take the next one from Matt Murschel from the Orlando Sentinel, please.
Dillon, I know we talked yesterday about your trip to Hawaii, back home with Jalen. I wanted to ask, did that idea come from the fact that Mackenzie Milton had done something like that, previously in the past, bringing some teammates? And what were some of the things you guys ended up doing that kind of helped you bond during that time there?
No, man, Flash, I remember sometime in the spring, he was like, man, you got to take me to Hawaii. And I was like, well, we better book it now because those flights aren't cheap. So ended up booking it, had a plan for it in our break before summer workouts. And then just, being back home, you got to, meet my family, figure out why I am the way I am, try new foods, and then obviously just have a lot of fun, that's what life's about. We were grinding out there, but also, took some time to just, show them around Hawaii. So.
You got to take me, bro.
I know.
I started something. Sorry, Dillon. So.
one person every break.
We'll go next to Matt Baker from the Tampa Bay Times, please.
I'd like to go to Hawaii too, by the way. But for either one of you, what are kind of the biggest changes or adjustments that Coach Malzahn has made since he's been there?
Biggest adjustment, I think, is just, obviously the terminology, different verbiage, just adjusting to that, has its learning curves. But also I think, being able to at least, get the spring in and then have a good summer and, make a lot of growth through there. It's been, a smooth transition. And for the most part, we feel really comfortable. And, just obviously going into day one of camp, it was night and day from, our first spring practice. So.
We'll go next to Trace Trilko, Sons of UCF, please.
Kalia, at Media Day yesterday, you spoke about the importance of educating your teammates about the vaccine. News today that the American will not reschedule games impacted by COVID, but instead it may result in a forfeit. How does that change your efforts to educate your teammates and get that rate above the 70-some% that Coach Malzahn has shared is the vaccination rate for the players?
I feel like that's even more reason to get the vaccine, So we don't want to be mid-season, big game coming up against like a Cincy or something, and we got guys missing because of COVID, close contact, you know what I'm saying? So really we would like to have everybody to get the vaccine. I'm going to be pushing for people to get the vaccine, but at the end of the day, we got to play with what we got.
We'll go back to Dan Tortora, please. Wake up call, DT.
Dillon, for you, statistically leading the nation in certain categories in your time at UCF, what does UCF need to do to garner national respect? Do you still feel like this is a program with a chip on their shoulder, and do you have a chip on your shoulder?
For me, stats is definitely, not the prize for us. And when you make that the priority, some things don't go your way. And for me, the biggest eyes on the prize for me is the W. Finding ways to win, whether it's by 1 or by 50. That's, the biggest thing. That's how you gain respect, I guess, in college football. And then likewise, I'll forever have a chip on my shoulder. It's something, I was born into, being from Hawaii, just being far out, and, just the way I was raised. So forever will be, a chip on my shoulder and forever grinding. So.
Thank you.
Thank you guys so much for joining us. Looking forward to see you guys less than a month until you guys kick off this season. Enjoy fall camp.
Thank you.